Okay everybody, this is the start of part 4 on the Deep Sea Lab / Flying Sub 1/28 scale. I'm going to set up the camera here in a few minutes and I'm going to start working on the base. I'm going to pull out the rocks that I made, use some 5-minute epoxy, and if I have time, we got to work tonight, if I have time, I'll go ahead and maybe apply some of the desert sand to the base. I should have time enough to at least get it started and see where I can take it from there with the base. So I'll go ahead and pause the camera for now, set it up on my workbench, and show everybody the next step that I'm going to be doing with the base. Video I just finished up, part 3. I worked on the lighting for the legs and the dome for the Deep Sea Lab, and that turned out pretty good. I already got the 3 5mm warm white LEDs in the base. I'll show that once I hook the camera up on my workbench. It turned out pretty good. So let me go ahead and pause and I'll be right back. Alright everybody, back on the base. This is about where I'm going to have the rocks on the base, as you can see here. I've got some glue on here. I'm going to mix it up, the 5-minute epoxy. I don't have much time to play with it, but I'll mix it up real good, and then I'll film a few minutes of gluing the rocks down to the top of the base here, and then I'll pause the camera and I'll finish up. This stone here will cover this self-tapping screw perfectly, and then I'll still have enough to take a bite on top of the base here. This one here, I'm going to have it butt up to it, and then the desert sand will cover that up, and then I got this one over here that can be covered up with the stone. So, and then the same with this one right here. So it's looking like it's going to turn out pretty good with the stones that I have for the base for the Deep Sea Lab. I think it's going to look pretty cool. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get this little stone here, apply some 5-minute epoxy on it. You can see. Just set that back down. Very good. Look at this big one here. Make sure I got that in frame. Starting to get a little thick here. Don't take long for this epoxy to start curing. Looks like it'll take a nice good bite there on the base. I'll go ahead and put that down. Go ahead and the other side of this stone here. A little bit more bite. Looks like that's going to work. little bit more. Starting to feel it's starting to catch. Same with this one here, that's good. I only made up enough glue for those two stones. So I'm going to go ahead and pause and get this stone here, this one, and this one right here. I'll do that off camera, so I'll go ahead and pause for now, and I'll show the results. And then the next step will be the desert sand. So let me go ahead and pause, and I'll be right back. Okay, everybody, back on the base. I took a little break. I used the 5-minute epoxy and glued the rocks down. They're pretty secure. My next step is I brought up some tools that I have that I'll be using. A brush. I got a little bit of water because it's supposed to be, you can clean it up with some water, and I'm talking about the desert sand. So I'm going to go ahead and start on the base here with the desert sand. Clean up any hair or anything on the base here. It's basically a paste. You can see here. You can see. Just get it a little bit on the brush and just start applying it to the base. I'll let this cure for a couple days. Next day I have off is Monday. I have to go into work tonight and work the weekend. Going on a little bit rough with this brush. So let me go ahead, let that soak in some water. Let me get one of these tools out here. I'm going to go ahead and use this instead of the paintbrush. Just start applying it this way. Much better coverage. Very cool. To get an idea, it's going to look pretty good once it's all on the base here. A little sculpting, I guess. So I get around the area here, which I can fill that in after I got the Sealab on the base. Get the general idea. Looking pretty cool. looking really good. Go ahead and cover up this self-tapping screw. You never know what's going to be there. Pretty cool. Trying to watch the time here. I don't want to go too far into it. Everybody get an idea how this is going on pretty good. Looking good, looking good. Let's see if I can get this back here. Everybody can see it back here. Have to pick up some more of this because this stuff is really, I like how it works, I like how it spreads. Looks pretty good on the base. A bit on there. That's not good. Okay. I'm already a little over 6 minutes into this. I don't want to burn up too much time here doing this. I just want to show everybody my idea, and then using this desert sand. I'll do a little bit more. Then I'll pause and finish up off camera, and then I'll show the results. Looking pretty good. Like that, it's got that grit to it, so it's going on at a flat surface here pretty decent, spreading pretty good. So I'm about almost 9 minutes into this, guys. I'm going to go ahead. You got the general idea how it's turning out. It's looking pretty cool. There's the 3 5mm LEDs. I'll try to go around this off camera and then fill the rest of the base up with the desert sand. So I'm going to go ahead and pause for now, finish this up, and show the end results, and I'll talk with everybody later. Alright everybody, back on the base. Here's the end results with using the desert sand. Get that in frame here. Still got plenty left. I like how it spreads onto whatever you're applying it to. And it went on the stones really good. All the way around. You can see here. I'm going to let that dry. And then I'm going to go ahead and primer this all up. And I did bring out the Deep Sea Lab Set it up on top here, everybody get an idea. And then around where the legs are, I can just fill that in with some more of the desert sand. And then I'll probably use oils. I've got some earth tone colors and paints, but I'm going to have to dig those up. Right now I don't have them available to like show what I'm going to use, but I got oil paints. I'll have to see what I can use on the base with those, but I wanted to give everybody a look at the base now. It's taking shape, it's looking pretty cool. Like that desert sand, it is a resin, so it'll dry up, and I'll be able to use primer over it. So I'll get the rocks, and then I'll get the desert sand with primer. It should look pretty good. So I'll go ahead and pause for now, and I'll talk with everybody later. Okay, everybody, another update on the Deep Sea Lab base. I got it in my spray booth. I'm going to go ahead and use some of this Badger styrene res primer. I worked on it last weekend when I was off, and you can see here, turned out pretty cool. I used this desert sand. I got still plenty left inside for other projects. I'll have to pick up some more of this stuff because this stuff's pretty awesome. It is a resin, so I'm going to primer that all up today with the Styrylrez primer. And also have to do the docking ring that sits on top of the dome. I got to touch that up with some primer. And then also the legs. I got to go really easy with the legs because I don't want to get any on the inside, but that'll be an easy touch up. I just got to go where I sanded down on the legs. So I'm going to go ahead here in a second and get started. I already mixed up the primer, so that should be good to go. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and get the docking ring first. Touch up the legs. Looks like I might have to do a little bit more work on the legs. I'm not going to go too crazy with the legs. I'll work on them a little bit more, but there's some spots you're not going to see once it's all together. Now I'm going to focus on the base. Hopefully this is going to be all on camera. I got the 3 LEDs for the legs covered, so that should be Shouldn't have to worry about the primer getting on that. So I'm going to go ahead and get this started. Looking pretty good. I still got to work on the outside here on the base. My scratch build at base doesn't always come out 110%, and I got to do my homework on that, but that's minor work. I got to go and pick up some wood putty. That'll be a big help too with my scratch build bases. Looking good. Just needs a little bit more touch up. Pretty good. Check the legs out here. Apply a little bit more to the base. Okay guys, there you have it. I think it turned out pretty cool. I'm going to go ahead and pause for now, finish this up and show the end results later. And looking pretty good though. So I'll pause for now and I'll talk with everybody later. Alright everybody, another update. I finished the base, touched it up off camera. Let everybody get a good look at it. Turned out pretty awesome. Looks pretty good. Next step is to, I gotta work on the work on the front and the sides of the base, but I wanted to get the main part of it primered. The docking ring looks pretty good. Also had to touch up the girders that go on the side of the dome. Which, here's the dome right here. And I don't have to touch that up. And here's the lights on the inside. It's all been tucked away real good, and I used heat glue on that. The legs look pretty good. I'm gonna have to touch them up a little bit more, but I'm not gonna go overboard because once it's on the base, it's not gonna be that noticeable. But I'll work on that. So I'm gonna go ahead and call this a wrap for part 4. My next step will finish up the base, and then I'll start adding some color to the base. I got a few colors out on my workbench for the stones and the sand. Stones, I can almost leave them primered, but I'm going to add add a little color to the stones. So I'm going to go ahead, like I said, call it a wrap for part 4. I'd like to thank all my YouTube subscribers. I'd like to thank everybody for watching, and I'll talk with everybody later.